I want that floor steamer back, Steve. That's not the point, you've had it for 2 years. Alright, Kev Ashford here for the United Stand. This weekend, it's FA Cup weekend, and Manchester United play Sheffield United. Can't really tell much about Sheffield United. I know they're in the Championship. I wouldn't even know whether they're any good. But Man United, we're at home, and I think this is a great opportunity this year to win a trophy. Van Gaal, it's a really good chance for him to win a trophy. I would prioritise it head and shoulders above the Europa League. Not interested in that at all. So we'll just have to see what happens. But as with regards, a lot of people are saying that maybe we should rest some players for this game and give a youth a chance. Nonsense. Who deserves a rest in that Man United team at the minute? De Gea, possibly. But why rest him when you've got a shit keeper like Romero? Fire him in, we'll lose the game. Chris Smalling has been really good this season. But he's pivotal, we need him in at the back if he's fit. And then further forward, I think Schneiderlin needs to play. I think he was unfairly left out for a few games by Van Gaal. But long term, I think he's the key to the midfield battle. And further forward, the fat, useless Scouse thing, Rooney, doesn't deserve a rest. Yeah, alright, he scored that little flick last week. Fantastic goal. But I've worked harder than him this season. I deserve a rest more than he does, so keep him in there. He needs to shape up, that lad, because he's done nothing all season apart from that fancy flick, which was a good goal. Fair play to him. Further forward, Martial could deserve a rest, but look at the age of him. He can't be playing football now, then, you know, what's he going to do? Look at the age of him. Keep him in the team, he's on a good scoring run. Same with Rooney. Usually, in fairness to Rooney, when he scores a goal, he usually goes on a bit of a run and he starts scoring. But yeah, the FA Cup, people say it's lost its edge. But I grew up watching, you know, FA Cup games in the 80s, went to a load of cup finals in the 90s at the old Wembley watching Man United. And as a kid, it's still something that does get me going, but I can understand where people come from because the FA Cup has been slightly devalued. I think the fact they played the semi-finals at Wembley has devalued it, so that's the FA. The fixture pile-up, again, I think that's the FA. People say it was Man United when they won the treble in '99 and they didn't enter the competition the next year. Again, it was because the FA wanted United to go to Brazil to play in the World Club Championship. They just did not help United out. So United, a lot of supporters say that it was United's fault that it's been devalued. I tell you, the flip side of it is, look at the money that's in the Premier League now. To finish in the Champions League in the top 4 and Premier League survival is worth a hell of a lot more than lifting the FA Cup to a lot of teams. And that's why teams battling for survival, they're even resting players because they're looking ahead to the next game. They're in a relegation dog battle. And at the top as well, teams chasing 4th and trying to win the Premier League. So you've got teams all through the top flight resting players, and that is why there is so many cup shocks. Last year there was loads of them, and that is exactly why Sheffield United come to Old Trafford and they have nothing to fear. But I think they should, and this is where Van Gaal has to play his strongest team. I wouldn't throw many of the kids in. Get the job done first. Then if you want to bring these players in, then bring them in if we're 2 or 3-0 up. But we need to go out tomorrow. None of this sideways passing. None of this passing back. Let's attack. Let's get players down the line. Let's get crossing balls in. Like John Barnes said, you defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them. Get round the back. Do what John Barnes said. And he's a silly Scouser. He knows the crack. So let's get through to the next round of the FA Cup here. A convincing victory. I say this every week. We never get a convincing victory. So let's see what happens anyway. But yeah, the FA Cup means a lot to me. We've not won it for ages. I was there the last time we made the FA Cup final. And a trip to Wembley would be really nice. Yeah, like I say, none of this sideways passing. No playing to the back. Let's attack. That's what everyone's shouting from the terraces. That's what we want. So, as always, come on United!